Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and this is day 83 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on gratitude. So, yay for day 83. 17 days to go. I'm looking forward to this countdown thing, let me tell you. I almost think I just will stop at that, but probably not. I think I need to do 100 days of writing, that would be cool. Anyway, I am grateful to be on day 83 and to only have 17 days left to go. And I've been tired today. I talked about tired yesterday. I can't believe how long that video was yesterday. Today will hopefully not be that long. I only got about 5 hours of sleep, and then I woke up because I went to bed and didn't journal and do stuff. But I had this nice thought before I went to bed to just be gentle with myself, and it's okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm okay. And then I got up today, and I'm like, I knew I was playing games. I knew I was avoiding going to work. I knew I was avoiding doing everything. And so I've been avoiding for a few hours. I'm like, I can't keep avoiding. I have to do things. And I I didn't feel like doing my video, and I said a little prayer kind of thoughts in my head. And the response I got was something that I'd said to someone a few days ago at work. We were talking about something, and as they were leaving, I made the comment to them, and I guess I needed it for myself. But I said, don't let the fear of success get in your way of succeeding. And I, and that just kind of that hit me when I was praying for God to remove whatever's blocking me from doing what I need to do. That it's like I'm afraid of succeeding. I'm afraid of becoming like huge and popular, and like those are all things I fantasize about, like having my books turned into movies and things like that, and being well known around the world or something like that would that's the fun fantasy. But the reality is, the idea of that actually happening scares me to death. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with that kind of attention. I wouldn't know what to do if people were coming up to me. And in fact, I had some people last night that they did a service for me, and I thanked them so much. I thought that was so gracious of them to do that. And they were like, wow, you're the first person that's ever been like that surprised that we would do something nice. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that I was surprised, because I mean, people have done nice things for me before. I think lots of people have done nice things for me throughout my life. I don't know if I always remember to say thank you or to say how much I appreciate it. And maybe it's because I'm doing these gratitude videos that I just feel more grateful and I'm more aware of things when people do that. And then maybe there's that part of me that's like, there have been a lot of people in my life, and maybe not a lot of people, but important people in my life that haven't done nice things or haven't treated me well or have given me things or promised me things and then taken them away, like I didn't deserve them or I did something to screw it up or whatever it is, didn't follow through with the promises. And I mean, I'm sure it was for their reasons or something going on with them and not because of me, but at the time it felt like it was because of me. And of course, so I internalized it that there was something wrong with me, which I've discussed. There's nothing wrong with me. I just feel that way sometimes. And that I am worth it and I do deserve nice things. And I forget that because I didn't have that. And in part, we just didn't have money when I was growing up. So there wasn't money for extra stuff or nice things. But I just didn't learn to appreciate the things that I had. And I'm learning to appreciate the things that I have and to take better care of the things that I have. And that it's okay to not have to have, I don't have to have brand new, wonderful things or, top of the line, whatever fancy schmancy stuff there is in order to feel good about myself. And I don't have to have those things to feel like I deserve to be treated well and to have nice things, because nice things can still be used things. They can still be old things. As long as they're nice, they're taken care of, they still work. There's nothing wrong with that. I just, I need to change my perspective, which doing these gratitude videos is helping with that. So I kind of had that, someone last night like, oh, you're grateful for something. And I was like, I am. But then but I'm also not used to the attention. Like I always talked a lot growing up because I was trying to get attention. I always repeated myself trying to get attention. I think I repeat myself in these videos too. But I don't know what to do with the attention when I get it, because it's like it's something I've always craved, but then it's like I didn't get it, and so then I'm like honestly, I was thinking, what's the trick? They're doing something nice. I'm like, what's the trick? They're going to take it away. They're going to expect something from me. They're going to want me to do something. There's a trade-off here, right? And I forget that people are just genuinely nice and they can do nice things and they can do good things. And so I'm grateful for that little reminder last night. And then, yes, this kind of goes into my fear of success because, if I get too popular or too successful, people are fake. I've known a lot of people that are fake in my life that used me for whatever it was that I had because I was too nice, because I, let them do whatever they want. Because I met their needs but they never met mine, kind of a thing. And then once I wasn't meeting their needs or they'd used up what they wanted, then they left. They got rid of me, whatever. So I've had a lot of that in my life. And I think with popularity or fame or whatever, you get a lot of people that are only interested in the fame or the money that they think you have, um, or they only know your talents, the things that you put out publicly, like these videos, and they wouldn't actually know me. And that makes me nervous because I'm not very good socially. I don't really know how to deal with people socially. And my sisters even pointed out to me that I don't recognize social cues, is the way she put it. And I really don't. Like, I just kind of take things face value, what people say, and just like in the moment. And a lot of times I just agree to things without even thinking about it because I don't really process what's going on. And then later I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. Not sure I'm comfortable with that. And I don't know how to do that. So it scares me. And so then there's this fear that I'm like, I know I'm not going to become big and huge overnight if I publish my books. I'm not going to become big and huge with these videos. I mean, come on, I'm on day 83 and I still have 9 subscribers. It's not like anything has changed other than my perspective and things about myself, what I'm learning about myself. Those are things that have changed. And so I need to remember that any change or popularity or whatever is going to come gradually, and that God will give me time to adjust or help me to deal with it or figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do with it if it comes. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't mean that I failed, because I still got to do what I wanted to do. I would still get to publish books. I will still get to make my videos. I will still feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose, even if I'm not reaching a million people. I'm only reaching, 20 to 50 people or whatever it is. But, or the 9 people that watch these videos. I don't even know if all 9 people watch these videos, honestly. But it's okay. And I also know that when it comes to writing books and being authors and even YouTubers and things like that, that stuff that I do now or publish now, people aren't going to see or read for maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. I mean, a lot of stuff that I watch on YouTube is like 3, 4 years old, and it just pops up and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, it doesn't mean that my business won't grow, that my people won't become more aware of me in the future. But that gives me time to work on myself, to continue to work on myself, to be more comfortable with the idea, to learn how to be around people, interact with people. And I do okay one-on-one with people, which I like. I just don't do well with big crowds of people, and I don't always pick up on social cues. It's my sister pointed out. And I want to date and get married at some point, but I'm afraid of men. I'm afraid of getting hurt. I'm afraid of that situation. So I'm like, I don't know. I have trust issues. So, but I'm like, you have to trust someone to be in a relationship with them. And so that's something I'm like, I don't know if I will ever be in another relationship or ever get married again because of my trust issues. So that's also something else I need to work on and overcome. And I realized as I was writing about that today that I'm like, I just need to let go of the illusion of being in control. And I think the reason I stand in my way, the reason I don't finish or follow through with things is I'm afraid. And if I stop myself, then I'm in control. I'm not really in control, but it's like if I slow down, if I stop myself, if I don't finish something, then, I just feel bad about myself, like I failed. But then I don't have to worry about what happens if I succeed, because I don't know what happens. I don't know if someone takes it away. I don't know if nothing happens. I don't know. I don't know what happens. So this is probably the biggest thing, closest thing. I mean, I finished my books, but they're not published because they still need to be revised, rewritten, edited, all of those things, which I will maybe do in my next 100 days. I will work on trying to figure out how to get my book published in my next 100 days and do some writing. So maybe if I focus on that for my next 100 days, I might actually get a book published. We'll see what happens. Um, I was hoping to do it in this 100 days, but obviously that's clearly not going to happen in the next 13 days, 17 days, 17 days. There we go. But I forgot what I was talking about. I'm sorry. Talking about success and this being the biggest thing next to my writing, doing these YouTube videos, and but it's a personal success because I've done things that I finished and followed through with for other people, but this would be something just for me. And this is also something that I'm doing for me that I'm actually sharing with other people, like letting other people know that I'm doing and including them on the journey. Because a lot of times when I want to do something big, like buy a house or a car or move, I don't tell people until all the decisions have been made, all the arrangements are made. I'm like, guess what? I did this. And so no one can talk me out of it. No one can stop me. No one can put me down, etc., etc. I think I've talked about those in other videos. So this is the first time that I am doing a big project for myself to promote myself and my books. Um, so it's me telling myself and telling the world that I have something good to offer, that I want them to buy, basically, my books or watch my videos, learn from what I have to say or what I have to share. So that's really new for me, and hard for me. I think it's gotten a lot easier over the past 83 days. But I mean, I've gone to job interviews. I remember the first job interview I ever had when I was 16, and I didn't get the job. And it's probably because I didn't know how to answer the question. Because the guy asked me at the end of the interview, he was like, "Well, why should I hire you?" And I just sat there and stared at him. I was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't have any preparation for an interview, and I didn't have an answer. I was like, why should they hire me over anybody else that came in for that interview? And I didn't know to say, well, because I'm responsible, or because I'll be on time, because I live close to the school, because, I always do a good job, because whatever it is. My mind was a complete blank. I had no clue how to answer that question. Gotten a little bit better at interviews because obviously I've had lots of other jobs, but I always didn't like that question. I still am not comfortable with that question because when you go into an interview, it's like you're selling yourself. I mean, not like a prostitution type way. That sounds so bad when it comes out of my head. That's what I think. But it's self-promotion. It's saying, hey, I am this most qualified person for this job because I have all of these characteristics. So it's self-promotion, basically. And that's what I'm doing, is self-promotion. And it's strange for me to do this. It's new, it's different. It's telling myself, as well as telling anyone that's watching these videos, that I am confident enough, that I am talented enough, that what I have to offer is good enough for other people to want to buy, to want to watch, to be interested in, that what I have to say is important and people should listen. And not that a lot of people are listening, because everyone has their niche and what they're interested in, and not everyone's going to be interested in or believe the same things that I do, and I understand that. And not everyone's going to like the type of books that I choose to write, and I understand that too. But this is my basically telling myself more than anyone else, that I can do this, that I have something to offer, that I am of value, that I am enough. And it's a little overwhelming. And it's humbling too at the same time. It's just kind of like, wow. And to finish something like this, to hit 100 days, which I'm almost there. I got 17 more to go. But I know I can do it. And to believe that I can do it, like way more now than I did even 10 days ago. I think I was ready to quit 10 days ago because I was too close to the finish line and I was freaking out because I don't know what happens at the end of 100 days. And I still don't know what happens at the end of 100 days. I continue to work on gratitude, but then I add something else to my life to work on, to improve, to promote, I guess, myself, to build up my own self-esteem, to see my value, to see myself the way that God sees me, to let everyone else see me for who I am and not hiding under a blanket, not sleeping. But here I am, me, my crazy, insane ideas, ways, thinking, all of that. Um, and I wouldn't be to this place if I hadn't been focusing on gratitude. I wouldn't be to this place if I didn't have a friend that talked to me about focusing on gratitude. And as crazy as it is, I wouldn't be in this place if I hadn't been so depressed, so discouraged, so desperate to find a way out, a way up, to change, because I was just miserable and behind on all my bills and not being able to function and knowing that wasn't normal. And I was like, I can't live like this, but I can't seem to change. And God put the right people into my life and the right situations, and it's very, very difficult. I read a post on Facebook, might have been yesterday, day before, I don't remember. Um, but it's a cute little story that I guess people are forwarding and moving around. And I thought about copying and pasting it, and then I decided not to. Um, I just I don't like to do that for some reason. Someone else's story, it's a really good story, but anyway. But basically, the point of it was that God has to break you in order to help you see your full potential, basically. Because it was a story of somebody at a dollar store with two kids, and the little kid had one of those little glow sticks, but it wasn't broken, so it wasn't doing the little neon color lighting thing. And the older brother took it away so he could break it and then give it back to the little brother. And then the thought behind it, someone's insight into it, not mine, someone else's, obviously, was that in order for it to glow, in order to see the full potential or purpose in life, that sometimes we have to be broken. So God breaks us so that we can see our purpose in life. And so that kind of resonated with me a little bit because I was broken. I was probably at my rock bottom again in my life. I'm sure I've been there multiple times. Maybe not as bad as I was this time, but I've also learned that the worse things get or feel in my life, when they get better, the better things actually become because I appreciate them more. I am more grateful for them and I enjoy them more because I've been without. So I know the extremes basically. And if I can have that extreme pain, I can have that extreme joy. And I'm grateful for that. I look forward to that. But I'm also grateful that I can smile in the process, that I can laugh during this process, that I can have friends and family that support me during this process, and that I can see the progress that I'm making because of these videos. Because I think if I was just writing in my journal for 100 days, which I could do, I've done in the past, I'm sure. I just haven't succeeded at that one yet. Got to start over again. But if I can do that for 100 days, even if I did that for 100 days, I might notice some differences. But I don't think it would be as obvious because I'd be writing in my journal about what I did for the day, how I'm feeling, and things like that to process my day. But that's stuff I do every day. And I don't even realize until I've journaled for like 2 or 3 weeks how much better I feel. And I don't journal for 2 or 3 days. And I'm like, why do I feel like crap again? I'm like, oh yeah, because I haven't been journaling. I need to journal and I'll feel better. So I know that journaling makes me feel better, but I don't see the process, the progress when I journal unless I share it with other people, which I don't share my journaling with other people. But going to 12-step meetings, other people tell me the progress that I'm making, so it helps me to be like, oh yeah, I did make progress there. And when I do my 12-step work and meet with my sponsor, the same thing. It's like, oh, progress, yay, okay. So it's interesting doing these videos because I have to talk about my progress. I have to talk about every day. And so I actually get to see my progress without other people having to tell me that I'm progressing, that I'm changing, that my perspective is shifting. And so I'm grateful to be doing my gratitude list in the form of videos because it is helping me to see how much more confident I'm becoming, to see my potential, which also scares me because it's huge. My potential is a lot bigger than I ever thought that it was, and I have a much greater purpose than I ever thought that I had, and it's just not what I thought it was going to be. I always thought it was going to be like a wife and a mother and, Susie homemaker kind of a thing. I'm not really Susie homemaker, to be honest. I don't like cleaning. I don't like housework. I don't like being cooped up in the house all the time. But I mean, I love kids, and I think I do an okay job of being a mom. But I, haven't really figured out the whole life, marriage, family thing because that one marriage I had didn't last very long at all, and kind of afraid to jump into another one. Not that I have anybody offering, because I don't. So I'm not even seeing anybody right now. Um, but I'm not focused on that either. My focus is on me and fixing me and um, rebuilding myself, rediscovering myself, and rebuilding my relationship with God and with my friends and family that I currently have. And then I can branch out from there and figure out how to do new relationships because I really don't know how to do that. And I and I know every relationship is different and it will just be an experiment, an experience, an adventure. Life is an adventure. Life is meant to be an adventure and it is meant to be lived. And I have spent most of my life just surviving, just struggling to get through the day and praying that it's over soon, and not understanding that life is meant to be happy and joyful and adventurous because I've just always been taught to be afraid of the adventure, afraid of new things. But I like new things. I like to try new things. I like adventures. So it's turned into this eternal conflict for me of wanting to let that part of myself go and to be free and to have fun and to enjoy and experience and experiment. On the other part of me that's like, okay, but if we do all of that, you do realize that people are going to notice, people are going to watch, people are going to care, and they're going to judge me and all of these other things, and they're going to ruin whatever nice things I think that I have, or they're going to take it away, and then I'm back to nothing. And I know you couldn't see me while I was doing that, but I kind of watched myself with my hands, and they got bigger and bigger as I was talking about adventures, and then they got smaller and smaller. When I was talking about how I felt like other people, the fears, and I realized I'm letting the fears control me. The fears stand in my way, and the closer I get to success, the more restrictive those fears become. And I'm trying very hard to break through those fears. And I think hitting day 100 will be a huge breakthrough milestone for me. And I think I can see it coming. And so I think those fears are just, slamming on the brakes for me, going, slow down. What are you doing? Stop. We can't do this. And I'm like, but I can't stop. The momentum is already there. It's going. It's so close. I can't stop. And so I'm having this little internal conflict, and I want to let myself out, and I want to be free of these fears, and I want to be myself. I want to be who God has meant me to be. I want to just let go. I need to just let go, but I've been taught and spent my whole life holding on for fear that there wouldn't be something else. There wouldn't be something better, that this was all I had, this is all I know, and it's scary. So I need to remember to not let the fear of success stop me from succeeding. And I'm grateful for that thought. It's something I shared with someone else that I felt impressed to share with someone else. And I don't know how much it helped them, but apparently it was something that I needed for myself. And I always find that to be amazing that oftentimes when I give something to someone else, share something with someone else, that God gives me what I need in return. So I am grateful for that, and I am grateful to have been able to do this video. And I'm grateful that it helps me to feel lighter, and it actually helps me to wake up. So I'm feeling tired when I start, and then I'm like, okay, I'm a little more awake, I'm a little more energized, because I'm seeing the good, I'm seeing the gratitude, I'm seeing the process, I'm seeing my progress. And then it's that reminder, I can do this, I can break free, I can let go, and it will be okay. I'm not going to fall and get broken again. I hope I don't fall and get broken again. But I also know I can't set my expectations so high that it's going to be like, oh, as soon as I hit 100 days, I'm going to become like popular over the whole world. That's never going to happen. And even if it does, it's probably years and years from now. And God will help me deal with it if it happens. And if it never happens, it's okay, because if I can make a little bit of money to write my books and do my videos and just know that I have purpose, that I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, then it's worth it, because that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's something I enjoy doing. I'm doing it because it's helping me to heal, to feel better about myself, because it's something I can share with other people. And hopefully, as you see the process I'm going through, as you read the books that I've written, that maybe you find some enjoyment in it, you find some help, some hope. Nothing else, you know, you're not alone in this whole big crazy world. And I mean, that's all I can hope for, because I honestly, I don't know what happens when these videos go out. I don't know who's going to watch them, what they're going to think, and it doesn't matter because I'm not doing it for that. Same with the books. It's like I'm writing them because they were the stories I created in my head, and I want to share them with the world. I'm trying to figure out how to write them in a way that other people understand. What goes on in my crazy head is a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but it's a process, and I'm learning, and I'm grateful I get to learn and discover. And I know that things will work out one way or the other. So I'm grateful for that as well. And I thank you for listening and for watching. And if you like, hit like, subscribe, share if you think it'll help someone else. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude.